So looking at what we're going to talk to this morning, we're going to have 3 technical sessions or workshop sessions. Before we start with the first one, we will talk about why you should care about data. So data emancipation. Why should you care about the availability and the access to your own data that you own that is sometimes locked away from you? Why should you care about that data? So it's a little bit of a philosophical point. We're going to talk 2-3 of those points before we get into the first technical session. First technical session is how to easily and securely collect data at scale, without limitation, with some very clever modeling that will help you to eventually do some very advanced analytics further down the way. Second session we're going to then do is to build a data ops foundation. If you don't know what data ops is, it's absolutely fine. I didn't know until this morning. No. Data ops is the evolvement from data management. And we're going to talk a little bit about what you need to do to create a data ops environment. And then we have the third technical session is where we turn data into insight, where it becomes valuable, where you share decision-making capable information with people and businesses, systems in your business. And we're going to demonstrate how we can do this at scale, because again, if we can't do this at scale, it's kind of pointless. It's going to be dead in the water. And we're going to do it with hopefully some cool solutions that's all going to work, right guys? It's going to work.
All live.
It's going to work.
Yeah.
That will provide unparalleled workability, saving you time and money, because that's what it's about, workability, time and money. There are many valuable definitions of digital transformation. Your organization, depending on where your business is situated and your line of business, you likely have your own definition that you use that makes sense to you, that you explain digital transformation to people that you engage with. So I'm going to bring up 4 definitions of digital transformation. Please take a minute to quickly scan through all 4 of them and let us know which one of the 4 you most agree with or most aligns with what you believe. And just shout out the number when you feel that you found the one that hits the nail on the head for you. Number 4? For me as well? The point is that the vision is grand and promising, but all of the efforts so far, with various pockets of success, have enlarged fallen short of the promise. We're not the experts. We're not going to pretend to be experts at anything. I think as soon as you call yourself an expert, you lose your expertise. So we're not the experts in digital transformation, and we're not going to pretend to be. But this is what we read, this is what the stats show us, the research, all of the consulting firms show us, is that conversion to value is really slow and lagging, and there's a couple of reasons for that. So we're not going to talk about digital transformation. Lots of good value promises there, whether it's reducing carbon footprints, whether it's increasing profits, a lot of good outcomes there, but the reality is slightly different. So what do the experts say, and what can we learn from the experts? So this gentleman on the screen is Mr. Keith Weed. Weed, yeah, no, it's beautiful. So Mr. Keith Weed was the Chief Marketing Officer at Unilever for 35 years. He finished at Unilever in 2018. And Keith was an incredibly gifted marketer, celebrated, awarded marketer when he was at Unilever for 35 years. And Keith held an ambitious vision for Unilever. They wanted to have a relationship with every single Unilever consumer. Not customer, consumer. So if you think of customers, Unilever probably have a couple of 100,000 customers. Consumers, millions, perhaps billions. You think about the Unilever product range and product stack. So that was his vision as the Chief Experience and Marketing Officer. He wanted to have a relationship with each one of those consumers. So if you think about what that requires, the very, very deep understanding of your entire supply chain, where product is manufactured, how product reaches your customer, how it enriches the life of your consumer, or perhaps negatively impacts the life of your consumer. Keith and his marketing team needed those kind of insights to really understand what it is, the relationship that they have with their consumers. In 2018, he published an article. An article was published about something that Keith Weed said. He stated that Unilever, although very similar to many others in the industry, Unilever is considered to be an FMCG business, but he stated, make no mistake, they are 100% a marketing business. They are 100% a marketing business that happen to manufacture the stuff that they're marketing. but their focus is a marketing business. And that means that any business challenges that they face are also marketing challenges. And in the same article, he pointed out that the coordination of several independent specialists in various fields, whatever they want to do, whatever they want to implement, the coordination of all of these experts from different businesses across the globe, and the timely access to data, this is the point, this is where I'm headed with this, the timely access to data to pivot quickly hampered their progress in all of these areas. The ability to get data and results on what they're trying to do quick enough was actually holding them back. That's quite telling. I hope that makes sense, at least where I'm headed with it. All right, so the point is really that pilots are easy, but scaling up is hard. And it's true for all types of transformation, whether it's digital, agile, technology, or data. And efforts to move the results into the market or embed them in your organization often fall short. So if we recognize that there is a challenge there, what do the experts tell us? Well, the number one thing that they came back with, they said, actually, for digital transformation, you need critical capabilities to scale digital solutions. What? We need critical capabilities? Yeah, otherwise it's not going to work. So what is a critical capability? Critical capability feels like I'm using very big words. Am I? It's not. I'm trying to...
It's a Friday.
Yeah, okay. So think of a critical capability as a set of skills, culture, attitude, and teamwork, and maturity that you need to actually scale digital solutions. That is a critical capability. And they went a little bit further. When I say the experts, we often refer to research has shown. Statistics prove.
Harvard says.
Yeah, those things actually are there. They are generally available, and there's really good research pieces. According to not one consulting firm, but a number of consulting firms, generating insights from data. That is the number one critical capability. Fascinating. So think about that again as a collection of skills, culture, maturity, and teamwork. You need insights. So why? Why would generating insights from data be that one critical capability? I think I alluded to it with the Unilever story, is your ability to access data from any and potential multiple, number one, and potentially any data source. Apply advanced analytics to generate those insights from those data once you've collected it. For timely decision making and also long-term impact is the multi-purpose enabler for everything else. So think about it this way, at least this is a little bit advanced for me. The way that it makes sense for me is how do you improve what you can't measure? So whatever it is that you're tackling or implementing or trying to improve in your business, if you can't measure it, how do you know if it's actually working? If you don't have a baseline, how do you know if you're improving? You can't even do a baseline with your current data. So how do you improve if there is no baseline? And then the final point on this topic of generating insights from data is why it is so difficult. So there would probably be a lot of different opinions in this room of why it is so difficult to gain insights from data. The first one, and the obvious one, is data silos. There are data silos everywhere in every organization. There are typically closed-off proprietary databases that you can't access. You need a very specific license to get the data out. It's something that exists on a machine that you already own, but the data isn't included. You can only do it via a certain protocol, perhaps. And then we have quick solutions. So what is a quick solution? A quick solution is something that you implement, typically hardware-driven, that delivers their own version of a dashboard, their own version of insights. Very, very valuable for the short term. But do make sure when you deploy those kind of solutions, do make sure that you can access the data. Because if that solution doesn't give you the ability to access the data, then you've just created another data silo. The second one is what we're going to focus on a little bit today is we need to structure the data in a way that it makes sense. So we call it data modeling. And that's going to happen as early as you can make it happen. Because once you try and do that, when you have that in your data lake, it's going to become a data swamp. You want to try and do that modeling as quickly and as early as you can. And then the third one is about context. Context is everything, not just in our world, but in life. Context is everything. So timely context. The interesting thing is the point with these few slides really, or the lesson, is what is the value of a data point? Think about that in its simplest form. What is the value of a data point? the value of a data point for somebody in real-time operations is potentially much more valuable or far less valuable to somebody in finance or compliance or somebody in procurement. The same data point has different value to different people. But with context that everybody can understand, that data point is valuable to the entire business.